For years, the United States has used its control over the global financial system to maintain dominance. The US dollar, as the world's reserve currency, gives America undue influence over global trade, finance, and economies, including Europe. But what happens if Europe decides it no longer has to play along with America's game? The US has manipulated interest rates, printed endless amounts of money, and forced the dollar into every corner of global trade. Meanwhile, Europe has been left at the mercy of American policies that weaken our financial institutions. Quantitative easing has inflated the US economy, but Europe's financial systems remain fragile. While the rich in both the US and Europe profit, leaving ordinary Europeans facing austerity, higher taxes, and stagnating wages. But what if Europe decided to change this? What if we stopped using the US dollar as the backbone of our trade? Europe has more power than we realize. The truth is, the US is more dependent on Europe than we are on them. The US has exhausted its relationships with major global players like China, Russia, the Middle East, and South America. But Europe still holds valuable trade relationships with nations around the world, including emerging markets, and with the BRICS countries Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Europe could easily start transitioning away from the US dollar, instead embracing the euro, the pound, or even the ruble in our trade. By aligning with BRICS nations, Europe could effectively collapse the US dollar's dominance and reduce the economic leverage America holds over us. The consequences would be seismic for the US economy. Without Europe's trade, the US would lose one of its biggest markets. The US dollar would lose its status as the world's reserve currency, leading to a collapse of the American economy. Trade imbalances would skyrocket, and the cost of goods and services in the US would surge. America, left with few trade partners and a weakening dollar, would no longer have the economic clout to dictate terms. Meanwhile, Europe would stand stronger than ever, free from US financial manipulation. With our cost of living reduced, our economies growing, and new partnerships forming across the globe, we would reclaim our role as a global economic power, able to negotiate deals on our own terms, and finally able to build the peace and stability that has eluded us for so long. No more bailing out America. No more subsidizing their economy. Europe can be the powerhouse it once was. By breaking free from the US dollar, we would unlock the potential of our continent, rebuilding the prosperity that has been held back for so long. The time is now for Europe to take control of its own future, to build a financial system that works for us and for the world.